Hey folks, this is BestInSlot with some Jurassic World Evolution 2 news. Nothing too major tonight, but still some pretty cool stuff I want to talk about. And the first is this right here. This is our first in-game look in motion at the new AVIARY system in Jurassic World Evolution. And I'm more and more convinced every time I look at this that this is clearly a custom building of some description. Even the ground looks like it matches the other, outside habitats, and it's got water and it's very similar, so I'm leaning towards that being custom as well. So I'm just going to play this. Watch this. Oh yeah, look at us go. In motion, ladies and gentlemen, we can see our Pteranodons flying about. Now this was released on Twitter by a guy who, I have no idea how he has this footage, but he's some game journalist, blah blah blah. And we can see our Pteranodons flying around. You can see in the background the mountain drops and the forest looks absolutely beautiful. Inside the habitat itself, as I say, it does look very much like the outside habitats, which makes me think this might be customizable. And the cool thing is, the Pteranodons really don't look like they're on a loop to me. This has been a source of much debate and contention, and I would suggest this does not look like they're looped at all. It does look like they're going to be It does look like they're going to be flying around quite a bit. They can spend more time flying around than resting and perching like they were doing in the past. All that said, if you look to the left mid-hand side over here, there's this... Sorry, I'll just pause it for a second. Look where my mouse is right now, hopefully you can see that. But to the mid-left, there is something on the ground. Now, I've already seen people debating if this is a log or whatever, but I think it's quite clearly a Pteranodon sitting on the ground. If you watch it, it does move slightly. You can see the head sort of shift from the right to the left right there. As we go along, it's looking to the right, and it's looking to the left. The head does move. It's clearly a Pteranodon. You can see the head shape, you can see the body, you can see the back of the wing there. So, not only are the Pteranodons flying around, but they will then go onto the ground to chill, basically. Now, is that in set places? Are there certain places automatically spawned where they can roost? Is it indeed a complete AI system? Will they fly around and land and then maybe have other interactions dynamically with each other? We've been talking about this lately, that the aquatic species and the flying species should have the behaviours that the terrestrial dinosaurs have. So, is this an example of that? Is this our first clue to actually seeing that in-game? It's pretty cool, actually. I'm pretty excited about this. If this really does show they're not going to be looping at all. It definitely doesn't look like they're looping. We also have this little area on the right hand side, but I don't know what to say about that, so I'm not going to say anything. So anyways, looks like free-flying Pteranodons. There's at least one on the ground. It'll be interesting to see how much we can control the inside of this. To me, it looks like maybe the indoors will be, like flat grass terrain, and we'll be able to do a little terrain modification to a limit, probably putting some trees, putting some water, but we'll have to see to what level that's customizable. I still think the aviary itself is customizable, and that's why the Pteranodons look, there's a free-form, open-ended kind of nature to how they're moving around, which I think was less present in Jurassic World Evolution. There's also a lot of them. It's worth pointing out, we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I want to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around 5 or 6 or 7 of them on the screen at one time. I think the limit in Jurassic World Evolution 1 was maybe 8. If we're going to have custom aviaries in this game, the limit may depend on the size of your aviary. Hell, if it is actually true custom AI or like new AI, there may not be a limit at all. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Either way, very cool stuff. Now, we're going to move on from this, we're going to check something else out. So the other new thing we have is the announcement of an upcoming feature focus. And that's all going to be about the management systems in Jurassic World Evolution 2. It's based on this building right here. Basically, this was posted onto their Instagram with the following text. We'll just go through this nice and quickly. We're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. It sounds like a little song, doesn't it? We're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. No. In order to get the finishing touches on an upcoming feature focus article. Now, these were a thing for Jurassic World Evolution 1 as well, where they would go in depth onto the systems in the game. Really good way to find out more about Jurassic World Evolution and inevitably Jurassic World Evolution 2. Come back later this week to learn more about dinosaur and park management in Jurassic World Evolution 2! Exclamation point, and then a bunch of hashtags which I included for some reason. So at some point later on this week, and of course we'll bring all that as soon as it releases right here on the channel, we're going to have a feature focus and in-depth article probably posted on the Frontier forums if the past ones are anything to go by, and it's all going to be about dinosaur and park management in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And to accompany that, we do have a brand new building. Now let's zoom in on this a little bit. First of all, just like the foliage. This is very blurry, I had to blow this up from Instagram, so don't panic too much about that, but it looks nice because it's foliage, and foliage is cool. And then the building itself. Now there isn't too much to say about this building. I think it's meant to be a very nondescript office sort of building. Now obviously they've already said this is about dinosaur and park management. They've said as well that the management systems in Jurassic World Evolution 2 are going to be deeper than that of Jurassic World Evolution 1. So for me that means maybe more financial control, you know, park prices and stuff like that, ticket prices, being able to set more global prices, being able to just have more financial control overall, see those financial numbers in a little bit more depth, maybe take out loans and stuff like that. So yeah, if I had to guess, this is what this building is about. Maybe staff management as well. Staff management wasn't really a thing in Evolution 1. You could kind of toggle up a number on your buildings, including your bathrooms. It's a bit weird. But you could basically toggle up a number on your buildings and hire and fire staff members in that way, but they weren't real people. There wasn't much interaction or, again, financial meddling going on there. So it'd be cool if we had, I think if I had to wager a guess, this will be a park management building, like a more overall park management where you're going to set your ticket prices, you're going to take out loans, you're going to manage your staff, you're going to, you know, maybe advertising and stuff like that. It's such a park management staple where you can take out a newspaper article or a web article or a billboard, and they're more expensive, but they bring more guests in, so you kind of have to balance their worthiness. General stuff like that. I think this is very specifically been designed to look like a nondescript management office sort of building. I mean, it's very nice, don't get me wrong. It's, you know, it's a lovely looking building. There's very little for me to say about it. It is on fire. No, it's steaming a little bit, which is nice, but there's not much for me to say about the design and to pick out here. It is just a management building. And the fact that it is so clearly just a management building makes me think that that's why it's leaning in this sort of direction, to be a very, I'd say, just general park management, sort of generic kind of stuff. You never know, it could be something utterly crazy. It'll turn out this is where you build your dinosaur hybrids, but only by sacrificing 20 of your guests to Cthulhu or something like that. You never know. You know, sometimes they hide the craziest stuff in the basic office buildings, but that would be my guess. As I say, we'll find out more later on this week with the feature focus, and of course I will bring that to you right here on the channel. Now before we go, one last thing, pachow! Andrew Rayner, who works at Game Informer. Game Informer is a gaming magazine. They did an article on Evolution last time, and it was where we got a lot of really good information for the game from most of our big pre-release information, I would say. A lot of it came from Game Informer. Game Informer, I would suggest, have some information, because Andrew is the one who posted that GIF, and that's right, I'm a GIF guy, not a GIF guy, come at me. Andrew posted the motion image of the Pteranodons from earlier, so he's obviously got some footage from somewhere, and he also said, Jurassic World Evolution 2 looks like a significantly improved sequel. Raptors attack in packs. But it's cool to have that confirmation from people outside of Frontier. We'd only heard it from Rich Newbold in the interview the other day. So it's cool to have it from people who don't have the same implicit bias, people who seemingly has seen it for himself, given what he's already posted. I suspect there is a Game Informer article on the way within the next couple of weeks, and maybe he's allowed to tease a little bit of information in the meantime. Either way, this is a nice double confirmation that raptors will indeed attack in packs. I'm very, very curious to know how that is going to function in the game. Can't wait to see that, hopefully very, very soon. Right, so we have a Pteranodon clip, we have a new building and an upcoming feature focus, which as I say we'll cover, and probably a Game Informer article on the way, and more confirmation that raptors attack in packs. Wasn't going to do a video today, but this was very helpful. I wanted a day off, but it's nice to kind of like do this and kind of chill a little bit anyway. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining me. Tomorrow is not an Evolution 2 day. Tomorrow is a Planet Zoo day. The Africa Pack launches. But we'll be back on Wednesday with probably more speculation or coverage of this, or hopefully a new species field guide eventually. I keep waiting. It'll come out eventually, I'm sure. Who knows? Either way, thank you for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers much love as always. Bye-bye.